Okay, here we go. And I see Boo is already there in the chat. Hi, Boo. And so stream, yeah, I got it going. I got it set to the right thing. So let's go ahead and dive in. I did play a little between last week and this week just to get Marival's status lock so that we could do a Hyulkonton. Oops, I hit the spacebar too early. I like letting the first part of that play out. Anyway, I did want to get a Hyulkonton just to show off what that's like before we actually go into Spiral Tower. So hi, Boo. Work. Are we ready for a Hyulkonton? Actually, I should check. We didn't actually beat a Gagason, did we? Well, we saw one. Yeah, okay. So, easy way to spot a Gagason fight then is Gagason fights will be marked green because we've never beaten one. I typically make my way towards the end of this dungeon because I've heard that they're more common later in the level. I haven't like formally tested that, so I don't know for certain. Yeah, well, status lock can also take care of that. In fact, I would argue it's easier. Like, Hyulkontons are a cakewalk when you've got status lock. You can lock everyone down before you actually use divide. Oh, I should work on the lineup. We need Tim, we need Marival. I've been playing Wild Arms 5 lately, which on the PS2 obviously has a different control scheme. So I have my keyboard set up differently for the emulator there. Muscle memory is why I keep accidentally pausing. What was I trying to check? Oh, I was trying to check what, where's Zephyr? There's Zephyr. I want to give Zephyr to Tim. Zephyr to Tim. There we go, okay. There we go. And there we go. Let's move Zephyr over to Cannon now. I would like to get Eagle Claw here, because I somehow still haven't gotten it, and we're about to go into Spiral Tower. Like, it's always a pain, but it doesn't usually take this long, you know what I mean? And also, sure, that's good. Hey, there's Nick. No need to apologize, you're fine. Hi, it's a Hyulkonton, the thing I was trying to fight last week. I remember you did have to leave when the stream was still going last week. I'm not sure if you saw. I was trying to fight it and failed. These things just love piling on tons of status effects. But the thing that I was trying to do last week when I kept trying and it didn't work was learning a move that just prevents all status effects. We have successfully learned that move, because naturally, when I tried it a couple days ago, it worked literally the first try when I wasn't streaming. Isn't that always how it works? Isn't that always how it works? Anyway, so that move is called Status Lock. Marvel has it. It's why the characters are all glowing red. So this thing is a Hyulkonton, a hidden enemy. You can only fight it by using a specific move on a specific enemy from an early dungeon. And it pays a lot in experience and Gela and rare items. So very valuable. It is, according to the game's code, level 1, interestingly. And see, the good news is, if you have that status effect immunity, there's really not a whole lot it can do to you. It's pretty easy. So while I died to it last week, I'm sure we'll be fine this week. And it also has a lot of health, 66,666 to be exact. And as a result, the battle should take a while, and Cannon should get plenty of opportunities to spark Eagle Claw. Just what we're trying to do. Somehow still don't have Eagle Claw. I can't remember if I mentioned this last week or not, but the name of this creature, Hyulkonton, is actually really interesting. The Japanese name was Hyulkonton, which seems to have stumped the translators. They had no idea what to make of it. It actually means creeping chaos or crawling chaos, and is a Lovecraft reference. Specifically, Nyarlathotep is called the Crawling Chaos. Cannon, near dying here. Let's save her. Jesus. Ugh. I got cocky. Wow, that does like nothing. Oh well. Luckily, there's a very good technique we can do here. One which I think that Boo may have mentioned in the past. Use Mystic on the Life Orb. It's the same as High Heal on the entire party. Now, because Cannon died, we do have to use Status Lock again. There's no time limit on Status Lock, but oh god. Okay, that's not that bad. There's no time limit on Status Lock, but it does wear off either when the character dies or at the end of the battle. Anyway, this enemy is optional. But if you want to grind, it's a very efficient way to do that. It also has duplicators and Gimel coins. One is the drop and one is the steal. I forget which is which. And it's also the hologram that is in the CLJ Museum where Lilka took Ashley on that date. At least she thought of it as a date. I don't think he did. Oh, wow. Yeah. Once you've status locked the entire party, Arc and Seal might as well be passing the turn. It doesn't do anything. So, very useful. Human Experiment still does a decent chunk of damage, but we can take it. Notice that Miravel's regular attacks now do significantly more damage than they did at the start of the battle. That's because she's been building up FP this entire time. And we have that ability that increases your stats whenever you build FP. It's very useful. Wild Arms games have always tried to go for that very dynamic flow of battle. Although I will confess, I think there was one game in the series that got this the best, and it's the last one, Wild Arms 5, which just had a divine combat system. Two is still quite good. 2 is probably my second favorite. It was my favorite when I was a kid. But I've come to appreciate that 5 is like the pinnacle of RPG combat. Cannon's still steadfastly refusing to learn the fucking move. We're probably close to finishing this guy off at this point. God, cannon. Well, we beat it. Still didn't get that move, but that's okay. So that's a Hyulkonton. If you go down here, you can see that this room that was in the cutscene at the end of the level back when we actually went through this level. You know, where the kidnappers had Tony. Anyway. And there's also just an exit for our convenience. But the bulk of today, we will be going through Spiral Tower. We'll go through Spiral Tower and, like half of Glaive le Gable. Do you want out, Robert? Okay. Alright, folks, you know what time it is. It is. It's Robert time. Robert! Oh, no. You interrupted a stream. You know the rules. You interrupted a stream. It's Robert! Robert, say hi to everybody. He's so fluffy. He's so fluffy. Look at him. Okay. Alright, I'm back. We'll switch back. View. Okay, there we go. I think he knows by now. I think he knows by now when I'm about to hold him up, because he was like, no, I don't want to be held up. Well, that's the rules, Robert. If you interrupt the stream, I hold you up to the camera so everyone can see you're a fluffy boy. Anyway. He's so fluffy. Flurfiest. That's true. Let's just secure these guys quickly, shall we? See if Hughley can beat them. Pickpocket? Huh. Didn't even get to do that mystic. Oh well. Oh my god, this place is crawling with monsters. Really? Another freaking spam bot. Holy Grail will make him immune to instant death attacks, and then we'll give him Zephyr so that he can build FP, and then we'll switch to Odor Yuck so he can revive the other two. Hey, Dad. Glad to see you. As I told Nick when he also said, sorry I'm late, you don't have to apologize, it's fine. Just glad to see you here. We are nearly to the end of the game now. Not going to finish today, but probably going to finish within the next couple of sessions. You get 1 credit for future use. Okay, sure. Alright. Phalanx, maybe? I mean, Eagle Claw, maybe? No, Phalanx. Okay. Sure, Nick, you too. I love when the recovery... They recover more health than the damage that they took. Still no Eagle Claw, though. Okay. Really crawling with monsters here. That one was a lot of damage. Alright. This should be the last one before we at least get to enter the place. Another big snail. And here we are. Okay. The Spiral Tower is not the last level itself, it is the level that takes us to the last level. Spiral out. Hey Claire, good to see you. That's okay. You know, instant death attacks are just really rude. a lot of puzzles here. This one has, yeah. There's falling blocks. I don't remember which ones all fall, but I do remember that it's impossible to get over without using that mist cloak. So. The spiral that turns from the moon to the sun won't change the past, the future, nor the present. Right? I love this theme. So, Boo, should I ask people if they want to try and solve the puzzle? I want to present the puzzle, because this is one of the more interesting ones, and give people a chance to try and work it out on their own. The main clue is, the spiral that turns from the moon to the sun won't change the past, the future, nor the present. And then we have these panels. The lost tale of Genesis will hereby be imparted. I am Wotan, leader of the Wild Hunt, a band of specters riding the winds of winter storms. The inscribed plate is a switch. I am Saturn, god of agriculture and ruler of the world during the Age of Happiness. Looking down are the new moon and the old moon, kind mother's face and cool queen of the night. The sun glitters with hope. If one's heart is filled with hope, darkness exits and the sun appears. I am Thor, god of thunder, wielder of the hammer Mjolnir, and the defender of the Aesir. Aesir? I don't know. I am Frigg, goddess of love and fertility. After losing my husband Odd, my tears turned to gold. My tears turned to gold is an interesting detail there. I am Tew, god of the sky and war, bringer of the flame of disaster to destroy all creation. So, we have to press these 7 ones in order. Can anyone guess what the order is? Just to recap, we have Wotan, leader of the Wild Hunt, riding the winds of winter storms. God of agriculture, rule the world during the Age of Happiness. What was the central clue again? The spiral that turns from the moon to the sun won't change the past, the future, nor the present. There we go! Nick got it! It's the days of the week, yeah. Monday to Sunday. And this is an interesting one. I meant to check... I think I checked it and then I didn't write it down or forgot. What the text was like in the original Japanese, because this is a very, very Japanese language puzzle. You can sort of make it work in English, and the translators honestly did the best, just about the best that they could have. But it's not as easy to make it work in English as it is in Japanese. In Japanese, every day of the week has a certain kanji that's associated with it. And those kanji have different meanings on their own, but if you stick day of week at the end of them, then they mean that day of the week. So Monday is Nichiyobi, which means moon. Tuesday is... Monday is Getsugo. Shit. Someone who speaks Japanese is Nichiyobi or Getsugo. I'm mixing up Sunday and Monday, I'm sorry. Kyobi is Tuesday is fire. Tsuyobi Wednesday is water. Mokuyobi Thursday is tree. Kinyobi Friday is gold. And then Saturday, Doyobi. I don't remember what that one means. So when I look at like Frigg, goddess of love and fertility, for Japanese speakers, the clue that this is Friday is the presence of the word gold, which is in the Japanese word for Friday, kinyobi. The kin means gold. I'm not sure if they actually mentioned the Norse gods in the original Japanese. I don't think they did. I think that was added to the literal translation in order to make the clues work. Because in English, Friday is not named gold. It's named after Frigg in Norse mythology. So they kind of had to blend the two. But it's interesting. It still mentions gold because that's the literal translation of the original Japanese clue. Anyway, it's a very neat puzzle, and for one that's strikingly difficult to translate, like I said, by this game's standards, this is impressively good as a translation. But we're going Monday to Sunday, so we'll start with the moon, and then 2 for Tuesday. Wotan Wednesday, I believe, is over here. Yep. Thursday, what is Thursday is Thor. There's Thor. Okay. Frigg for Friday. Saturn for Saturday. And Sun for Sunday. There we go. That's a tricky one. It's a good puzzle. It's not the kind of puzzle I would probably design despite my interest in linguistics, because I prefer, when I think of designing puzzles, I think of like making systems. And we'll see plenty of those here too. I was thinking Loka's healing should be enough. Okay, there we go. Don't remember how much health this guy has, or whether we'll have a shot to try Phalanx, but if we can, I'd like to. There's some bosses in this dungeon, but they're super easy. Like, weirdly, inappropriately easy for this late in the game. Still nothing. There we go. This one's not bad. Gotta switch to Brad. You gotta drop a bomb next to the purple thing and then stand on the diamond when the bomb goes off. Easy in this case, but we'll see some harder ones. Here we go. Same thing, but harder. Oh, just barely made that one. The middle one is the hardest because you gotta go around the longest. Nope. Let's see. Ugh. Okay, you don't have to run if you're walking in the right direction. There we go. Was there something up here? Yeah. Here's the part where you do have to run. There we go. No instant death attacks, please. And we got our Peppy Acorn back. Yeah, let's do the same thing again. I don't want any more instant death attacks. I don't like instant death attacks. So they're like, okay, you're not dead, you're just paralyzed. But all of you are. Well, at least this one won't work. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, I love this room. Oh no, this is the first one. The second one is that I really love. This is still interesting. We got these arrows that when you step on them, they move the platform. There it is, the flare gun, Ashley's last tool. So if we were gonna go for the other bosses first, we would immediately head back out from this point. Because that's the last thing you need. The flare gun is the last thing you need to unlock all the hidden bosses. I'm going to take us through most of the way to the end game, and then next week, between this week and next week, I'll backtrack, because you don't want to see me just walk through the same level again. And then next week we can do all the hidden bosses, just to get their attention. No, you just trigger a switch on the ceiling. The flare gun does light up dark rooms, but most of the dark rooms in the game occur before you get it, so it's kind of it's a weird choice. There are some weird choices with regard to tools and force abilities in this game, and you can tell they figured that out because they kind of work differently later in the series. with most of the late game tools having very little use in the game. I think I mentioned it before, but Cannon's last tool, the jump boots, are literally only ever used in the dungeon that introduces them, which is Raypoint Muse. And only Tim's Mist Cloak is the only late game tool that really gets used frequently and creatively. I mean, you can see I've been using it a bunch in this dungeon. I haven't used any of the others, except for one use of the flare gun. Alright, and we want to... yeah, we want to do that. This is the room I was thinking of earlier, because this puzzle is very intricate. You have to Mist Cloak past the first blue switch, hit the second one, so that that piece is in position, and then we gotta Mist Cloak over this gap, fall back down, come over here, Mist Cloak again, and now we're back where we started, except that one of those pieces has moved to the left, so we can now fall down onto it. There. Okay. First try without falling off. So you can, like, light up this room with the flare gun, for instance. It's not necessary, but you can. It's got 4 lit things in the orthogonal directions, none in the diagonals. And that's it. It is obviously the setup to the puzzle in the next room. Flare gun again. And of course, as above, so below. So light them all, and then we will extinguish the diagonal ones. But the puzzle does have one more trick up its sleeve, because as you extinguish the last one, there we go, the door unlocks, but this part also pops up. So if you're not standing in the right spot, it'll trap you. Bless you. Here's the first boss. Super easy. Saucer organism Grodine? I don't know, these things don't come with pronunciation guides. Anyway, this guy's a pushover. I think it might be weak to fire. I'll test it. Well, the claw isn't, at least. Rodina Lab. Like, Gronian? That's a stretch, Claire. I love your puns, but that one was a stretch. Alright. Still no Eagle Claw. I swear I didn't make this move up. I'm trying to get it for like several streams now. I normally have Ashley in the party for boss fights because access is such a quick and easy way of dealing a lot of damage to any of the bosses, but I didn't bother with this one because A, it's really easy, and B, I really want to get Eagle Claw. Just not working. Awesome. I don't know. The two saber is fine. There it goes. Like I said, not hard. Loud, but not hard. There's another boss at the end of the Spiral Tower. Which is like, I think slightly harder than that one, but still pretty easy. Honestly, these guys are harder because they have those instant death attacks. don't have the FP. They do drop full revives, which is nice. Very valuable item. Okay, so I didn't mention it when we entered this room, but at this point, for the second half of this dungeon, we've got a lot of these doors that have the eye symbol on them. That basically just means you have to fight to pass. Forget it. No, there's not. Okay. No way, meow! Me when, Robert when I tried to hold him up to the camera. That's what I was trying to say. I always wanted to say meow. Or say something, just say something for the camera, but whenever I hold him up, he's completely silent. And yet, when he wants to come in, suddenly he's got a ton to say. Then I never hear the end of it. Rude. Should probably be curing these. I don't even remember offhand how many, yeah, I only have one Peppy Acorn, so I gotta make it count. Oh, that's right. The trick for this room is you have to leave and come back. That resets the doors. And then what you can do is walk across this one. Go down here and get this item. Okay, that's how you do it. There's gonna be a lot more of those doors. Monster doors, so get ready for that. Let's see, how do you do this one? Lower that, you can walk over this door, and then with this one you don't want to lower it, you want to fight this one. There we go. Oh, you got cured of all conditions? Have some more conditions. At least Lilka's immune. I worked on Cannon. I'm not gonna bother. Paralysis doesn't persist outside of battle, so once we win, it'll wear off. I'm just going to take a moment to rearrange my inventory so I can stop scrolling down for the Holy Grail every time. I'll grab the life orb while I'm at it. Rearrange a couple of other things. There we go. Okay. That should make battles faster. We got an item up here, I think? Yeah. Another ambrosia. Very good. And we gotta jump across these doors rather than open them. Careful you don't fall off. There we go. Alright. Leave and come back just to make sure that if we fall off, we'll fall off on this side instead of the other side. While we get this item. There we go. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I like the use of those doors as both obstacle that you can punch through and something that you can use to solve puzzles. Okay. So this room, I believe there was an item over here. So many random encounters. Luckily there's not that many in Glaive le Gable. So we spent most of today in Spiral Tower. Glaive le Gable is actually relatively short. And there are bosses in it, but they're at the end. We won't be fighting those bosses today, because once you start the final boss sequence in Glaive le Gable, it goes straight into the end of the game. Well, Cannon is at 90. And now she's at 100. Could this be where we spark Eagle Claw, maybe? Maybe, possibly. Nope. There's the item. We'll just go this way, it's fine. we go, Claw. Oh, damn. I realized that Force Charge and FP Shift together equal 50 FP combined with the 40 the cannon starts with means we can have her using Phalanx as early as turn 2. I think last I checked it was good. Because it was bad before. It was set to bad, but I gave her the amulet. So it should be at good but not best, at least it was last time I checked. And it can't possibly be any lower than normal while she's holding the amulet, because that boosts it by 2 levels. Should actually check right now what her luck is. It is normal, okay, which is the lowest it can be. Yeah. Where is it again? There's something in this room. I think it was over here actually. Yeah, there we go. There's the little lightning bolt. Brad's final gun. And another one of these, except that this time you have to both fight and use the terrain. Let's see if I can do it. Start here. Hey. Might run past 6 here. Forgot how many of these random little battles there are. Like, I remember there were a bunch, but God, it just takes so long to get through. Paralyzed again. I feel like instead of using the normal Wild Arms 2 cover when I upload the video for this to YouTube, I should just use the poster for that movie one battle after another. Alright. Cannon is now immune to paralysis, and all of them are immune to instant death attacks, so she's just gonna handle the whole thing. Even if the other characters get paralyzed, it's fine. Which they did. No, I haven't. I did hear it's good, yeah. It's been a while. That was, Paul Thomas Anderson, right? I keep meaning to watch more of his movies. Back when I watched... Back when I worked at a movie theater in the early to mid 2010s, I saw one of his movies, The Master, which is the sort of movie that I would have never seen had I not worked at a movie theater where the tickets were free and I didn't have anything else to do. But, like, it was really interesting. It's a fictional story very loosely inspired by the life of L. Ron Hubbard. It is not a hagiography by any stretch. In fact, Church of Scientology, obviously, as they tend to do, threatened legal action. I don't think anything came of that, but, like... It was an interesting movie, though. Had Amy Adams! I love Amy Adams. She's great. Lately, he seems to be on a Pynchon kick, doing stuff based on Pynchon books, but he hasn't done Gravity's Rainbow yet. I keep wondering if he's going to. I don't know if you could make Gravity's Rainbow into a movie. The Phantom Thread? I don't know that one. I mean, I assume from context it's another Paul Thomas Anderson movie. But... We're maximizing our chances to use Phalanx, and it's still not sparking Eagle Claw. Of course, I did switch the amulet with the blue circlet to stop her getting paralyzed, and that has the side effect of lowering her luck, because the amulet was the only thing keeping her from having the worst luck possible. I don't think this guy's got paralysis, so we'll switch back to the amulet. I should watch more movies in general, to be honest. Rachel and I were talking about just start like regularly streaming movies on Discord. In fact, we did stream Nope on Halloween, which was a lot of fun. Although we did have like I think the stream quality wasn't the best, so maybe we'll figure out if we can get it to a more stable streaming quality. That's kind of the only thing standing between us. Just having to be a regular thing, it'd be a lot of fun. I know Rach said she wanted to stream Muppet Christmas Carol on Christmas. Maybe not necessarily Christmas Day, but sometime around that. Maybe we'll do it on Christmas Day, I don't know. We'll see. I do love Muppet Christmas Carol. We gotta make sure we find the version with The Love Has Gone. Alright, this should be the last of the doors. Probably not the last random encounter, but should be the last of the doors, I think. And in this room we do have to switch cannon back to the anklet because these guys love to paralyze. Everyone's immune to instant death attacks, and version where Scrooge McDuck. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure Scrooge McDuck is named after Ebenezer Scrooge. I always assumed that was the case. I don't know for certain, but like, it's not like Scrooge is a terribly common name. I haven't seen that particular one. But Muppet Christmas Carol is so good. I love that Michael Caine plays it completely straight. Tim got paralyzed before he could FP shift. It's so good. And you gotta make sure you get the version with The Love Has Gone. This was a song that was in I believe the original theatrical release, but was cut for when they like broadcast it, and so it was missing for a long time. I forget why they said. Someone who worked on it was like, it messes up the pacing and it's too serious for a lighthearted kids movie. And like, I get where they're coming from, but also it's an extraordinarily beautiful song. And I think it's worth it to like slow it down a bit to appreciate something beautiful, you know? Just my 2 cents. Anyway, if I recall correctly, Disney Plus has both versions, and you can watch The Love Has Gone. I think. Also, Muppets aren't just for kids. That's true. That's true. Muppets are family. They're all ages. Yeah, I mean, I know Disney's terrible. Like, you know what else has Muppet Christmas Carol? Pirate Bay. Or other pirating sites. I'm not even sure if Pirate Bay is still around. I know they've had legal trouble. Anyway, you leave enough of these doors so that you can walk over them. And you might have forgotten what we were doing with all those damn battles. Still downhearted. Alright, let's do that. Oh shit. I did the FP stuff, but it's not gonna work because Canon's downhearted. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I mean, I get it. Because, like, Pal World is pretty clearly Pokemon inspired, but... Caveat, I haven't played the thing, but it does seem like they've changed enough that it... probably isn't... Of course, what do I know? I don't like defending big corporations in legal disputes, but at the same time, sometimes people do just, like, straight up try and rip them off. There was a game that I used to play called Hex Shards of Fate, which was fun, but the reason it was fun is because it was a pretty blatant Magic the Gathering ripoff. It was just like, what if Magic implemented things that you can only do in digital card games, like upgrading, like permanently upgrading cards and stuff like that. And that was the basic idea. And the gameplay, like the rule set of the card game, was exactly Magic the Gathering. Down to you could make a list of like, this is what the ability is called in Magic, this is what it's called in Hex. And so it's not really surprising the Wizards took action then. Yeah. Well, intellectual property is like corporations can't exist without it. It's the only thing. Keeping access to that scarce is the only reason they have value. They're not that small. They're smaller than Nintendo for sure, but they're not that small. What'd you say? Oh no, I meant the folks who made Pal World. What? Sorry, Boo was talking about Pal World. I know I talked about Magic a bit, but Boo was talking about Pal World. Anyway. What are these damned battles? Easy room. Just run through it. Okay. We're most of the way through Spiral Tower at this point, and thank God, because it is 6 o'clock. We got a boss battle coming up that shouldn't take too long, and then we'll go a little bit through Glaive le Gable. Again, I don't think that should take too long. I'm shooting for 6:30 to be done with the stream. Might be later. Especially if people keep getting paralyzed! Just punch that. I don't even care about unlocking it anymore. Just keep punching that cannon. Alright, so here's a room. There are items behind... There's an item somewhere in this room behind at least one of those doors. I don't remember which. Maybe I'll get it on my way back when we're not streaming, but I'm just so sick of these damn doors at this point that I just want to get through it. Okay, here we go. Boss fight. Like I said, this is another fairly easy one. It's a big dragon. It's the Communist Manifesto. That was my display name at one point. What? I think you, This guy's got death attacks too? Seriously? I think you left off part of what you're trying to say there, but I don't know. Oh, yeah. It does. Yeah, okay. He's got it over here. So rude. Alright. Yeah, it ain't gonna work. I don't remember him using this attack that much. Robert is demanding ingress. Yes, Robert. It's like you're supposed to pet me. I made this very clear. Meow. Yes, Robert, you got my hand. Alright, spiral tower complete. And with this, we enter Glaive le Gable, the true final level. It's like an ocean. It's a guardian. This blue mud seems to be one single guardian. I once heard something about a blue sea of mud flowing deep under the bowels of the earth. The being that was the origin of everything, the guardian of mud, Glaive le Gable. So the Kuiper Belt has been eating the Guardian. And this is the setting for our final confrontation. Just to recap, because the trapezohedron didn't work to stop the Kuiper Belt, Irving had a desperate plan that involved instantiating the Kuiper Belt in a vessel. He chose his sister Altacia, and that's why he's come down here, and we've come down here to try and defeat it, but also to stop him, because what he's doing is like pretty messed up. How do we do this one? There we go, okay. All the puzzles in this dungeon involve these rotating skulls. You gotta get them to point the direction you're going. The ones on the end here, all supposed to point north. These aren't required, but they unlock certain items. That'll be our last task for today, is getting these items. Because they're in the same room as the final save point. And that's where we'll leave off. I was hoping to be done by 6. Now I'm hoping we'll be done by 6:30. Luckily, there aren't nearly as many random encounters here as there are in the previous dungeon, and the monsters aren't as fond of instant death attacks. At least I don't remember them being. There we go. Did I get turned around? Yeah, I did. It is very easy to get lost here because all the rooms look the same. Anyway, there are 6 of these total. You only actually have to find 5 of them because one of them is already facing north when you first arrive. I don't remember how much health this guy has, but I bet it's a lot. Occurs to me that I can get around here without getting in random encounters using the red blades, so let's do that. Oops. Okay. Alright. This isn't all the items, but it's all I'm gonna worry about for today. Because this is already significantly later than I intended. So there's these rooms on the side with the doors. These are like ultimate equipment. And you can see there's still 2 doors closed because I didn't rotate all of the skulls properly. So at some point before the next stream, I will play some on my own. I'll get the stuff we skipped over for today, and I'll get us back to the surface so that we can go through the hidden bosses, and that'll be next week. But for now, we are done. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm sorry this one went on for so much longer than I intended. But I hope you all had fun. I certainly did. Have a good night, everyone. Goodbye.